I know that at some points it's hard to take me seriously because I act funny, I put on a plethora of hats, and oftentimes say things ironically because I find them funny, but others do not. Today is not going to be a fun video. This is a video about a topic that I think I've been avoiding because I get a lot of criticism anytime I make a statement that's about anything important. So instead of hiding, I'm going to show you my reaction to a recent article in MarketWatch. Now, there have been lots of articles and I think lots of negative propaganda from people that are either afraid of e-cigarettes or they perhaps have something to lose. And I think that when we look at these research studies and when we look at these articles, we really need to figure out, like, where's the funding coming from, whose point of view is this, and who is it twisted toward. I understand there's going to be a lot of fears about a new product, especially a new product that takes over like this one has, because so many people are into it. It's really a big deal now. So we're wondering, is it safe? Is it something we need to protect our children from? And so this article has come to my attention, the 10 things e-cigarettes won't tell you. Of course, my e-cigarette doesn't talk, it just makes vapor, which I think is completely harmless, but I'm not a doctor. So the first thing they say is that they're big tobacco in disguise. Now I will say big tobacco's disguise hasn't been that good, because when I go purchase an e-cigarette or a personal vaporizer or an advanced personal vaporizer, my first stop is not the convenience store or Walmart, which those are two places you can buy those little ones that look just like cigarettes. We call them analog alikes. Most of the time they are inferior quality, low vapor production, and really don't do it for people. In fact, I think that big tobacco may produce as many of those as they want, and maybe they'll help somebody. I will say, most people that I've talked to, they've come up to me and said, oh yeah, well I tried e-cigarettes. And I'm like, what'd you try? They tell me about their gas station experience, and then I'm like, oh, well check this out. After they try the flavor, the vapor production, they realize that they've been sold an inferior product. And oftentimes they get back on the e-smoking bandwagon. I don't think big tobacco, I think they will have a lot to gain if they switch over and follow the trend, because smoking does kill, and we know that. Okay, second point. We can't promise this won't kill you. Okay, we can promise that cigarettes kill. We have linked them to diseases like cancer, and we do know that they contain a bunch of carcinogens. As far as we know, most e-cigarettes do not contain anything that's not safe for humans. However, the delivery system is different than we've had before, so it hasn't been tested in that. The major ingredients have been approved for animals and humans for a very, very long time. You can look them up individually. I mentioned before that one of the ingredients is put into antifreeze to make it less dangerous for you. So no, they can't promise it won't kill you because they haven't done enough research yet. That in and of itself is probably not a very good reason to continue smoking and not try vaping. It wasn't for me. I know that switching over to vaping has definitely made my life a lot better. Can I say that I'm not going to die of it? No. Do I feel any symptoms, side effects, or inclination that I'm going to die of it? Only if I were to leave the house and forget it, because I really, really don't want to pick up another cigarette. Alright, their third point, if you're still with me. You didn't quit smoking, you just think you did. And I want to call absolute, total, 100% BS on this. I do not smoke. My vital signs will not look like a smoker's. My body no longer looks like a smoker's. Look at my teeth. Look at these things. Do they look like smoker's teeth to you? No. I don't smoke anymore. I don't inhale burnt, flammable smoke. I inhale vapor. It's a different thing. It's a completely different thing. And sometimes, yes, I do still suffer with cravings for cigarettes, because there is nothing in the world like a cigarette. Not even this. It's a close second, and it's become a first for me because I really enjoy what's happened to me. But I will tell you, I am no longer a smoker. I am a former smoker, and anybody that's tried this product and gotten away from traditional cigarettes will tell you that they feel completely different. It's like being freed from a lifelong slavery to cigarettes. Okay, next point. We're advertising like it's 1960. Well, we still can. I personally haven't lived through the 1960s. I can tell you a lot of their ads involved pretty girls and cool guys using their products, and doctors going, this is totally okay. Well, we definitely don't have the doctor saying this is totally okay. In fact, we have some doctors on our side, and we have some doctors that are a little bit skeptical, afraid, or maybe just a little too conservative to step out of their box. As far as the pretty girls using it, well, I've gotten prettier since I started using electronic cigarettes. My skin's better. I feel healthier. I exercise more. So I guess it is kind of making us all into more attractive boys and girls, but that's really not what we're getting at. I think that as a community and generally speaking, we're very, very strong and very strict about how we present ourselves. I feel, I've been criticized at times for not presenting myself properly because people watch these videos and other vapors don't want them to get the wrong idea that we're all a bunch of idiots like me. So really, I would say that we're a very conscientious group and that we aren't trying to act like it's the 1960s while we still can. 5, we defy categorization. Now, one of the problems that we've had with all of the FDA wanting to regulate, and a lot of the times when we're, going to city council meetings and when we're fighting these issues, it's because they want to regulate them like medical devices or like traditional tobacco. And the reason traditional tobacco is so expensive is because it's so harmful. Your insurance premiums will go up because I was a smoker at some point, and if I would have continued to do that and I would have gotten sick and I didn't have insurance, or people like me didn't, or millions of people in America, it adds to your overall cost of healthcare. It's a huge problem in America. Heart disease, high blood pressure, I think that's related, because it's your heart, but all kinds of things. You can do your own research on what bad things cigarettes do to people and what it's costing America, but it's quite a bit. So we really don't fit into the category of a device or something that is bought to be consumed that is known to be bad for you. And I feel like until we're sure that it's bad for you, taxing us like we're doing something bad is really unfair. As far as a medical device, if electronic cigarettes are medical devices, that means traditional cigarettes need to be as well, because they're much more dangerous, in my opinion. And they have been shown, again, there's proven research that traditional cigarettes are already categorized. We are not. And we do need a new category. We need a new definition, and it's a new thing. If it wasn't such a new thing, there wouldn't be all this controversy about it. If we already knew what it was, we wouldn't be needing to have this argument. Number 6, we look like cigarettes, but please don't tax us like cigarettes. Again, why do we tax cigarettes? Because people die of them. We tax them and they go to pay for schools or roads or whatever, and you go to a nice school and mommy and daddy die of smoking. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense because electronic cigarettes are not taking away from people's lives. That we know of. Again, if we get to the point where we realize that these are, we need to put sin tax, that's what they call it a lot of times, a tax for your sins or tax for things that are known to be bad for you, but you indulge in anyway. When we get to that point, absolutely, I'm all for it. Let's tax them. But until we can prove that, it's really unfair. Kids love us, okay? The kid debate it's close to home for me, and I can't talk about that, and no, I don't have any children. I don't encourage, if I find a kid is even watching my YouTube channel, I'm like, get off of here. I won't talk to you, I won't respond to you. This is for adults. It's clearly content for adults. And yeah, we have flavors. That's great, but it doesn't mean that kids are going to want them just because we have flavors. Have you not seen the flavored vodka? Like, I saw birthday cake flavored vodka. Like, birthday cake. What does a kid love more than birthday cake? The picture had candles on it, So, again, is it marketed to kids? No, it's marketed to adults that are trying to get off of cigarettes because we need to get away from them. And the only way I was able to switch was when I was able to find a flavor that was better than cigarettes, which for me was strawberry shortcake. Do kids love strawberry shortcake? Yes. Do adults love it more than cigarettes? Yes, and that's the idea. If we were to go with the same regulations that cigarettes have and we could only have tobacco flavors, it would be really hard to hold the appeal because it's very hard to quit smoking, and this is the only thing that has ever done it for me for more than 6 months. Okay, so it's not a threat to your kids. Please take care of your kids, and you know what? Honestly, if your kid grows up and becomes a smoker, because if they're smoking right now, they're doing it to rebel, alright? They're not doing it because it's delicious. We never smoked because it was delicious. We got used to the flavor, we acclimated, and we eventually decided we enjoyed it because we were addicted. So if your kid grows up in that world and they are a smoker, when they hit the legal smoking age in your area, please encourage them to switch over to electronic cigarettes because as far as we know, it's less harmful. As far as I think, it's less harmful, in my own opinion. Again, I'm not a doctor and I'm not an expert. These are just my opinions. So, number 8, we're bringing smoking back inside. This is a fear that we're going to bring smoking back inside, that all the work for all the bans that have gone on and gotten these nasty, disgusting smells out of our food, they're going to come back to us. If you have not been in the room with somebody vaping, please take a moment, find your local e-cigarette user, discover someone, and ask them to please blow a plume at you. Seriously. Because the strange thing that's going to happen is you're going to find out it doesn't smell bad, it dissipates incredibly quickly, and one of the main ingredients in it actually prevents the spread of airborne illnesses like influenza. So if we started vaping inside, we would deodorize and prevent the spread of airborne illnesses. If you're afraid of that, maybe you shouldn't be going in public, because we're making public safer for you. Aside from that, if I can't vape around you, then you shouldn't be able to probably wear things like really strong perfume, which, again, people have known allergies to really strong perfumes. I have a known allergy to screaming children. Again, you're allowed to take those screaming children into public. I should be able to vape. I will do my very best not to vape around your children, and again, I will never vape if somebody asks me not to in their establishment. I think that there should be an open mind kept. Perhaps establishments like Starbucks that say you can't even vape within 25 feet of their door, maybe they could take a second look at it and see that offering people this healthy alternative and giving them benefits like being able to use it in more areas is one of the key factors that helps people stop smoking and get away from terrible cigarettes, which we're not using anymore. Alright, the next point, number 9. And back onto aircrafts. Okay, so they're worried that we're going to get these onto aircrafts. Again, they're not going to start a fire. They're no more dangerous than your cell phone as far as having a battery. The sorts of batteries that we use, the vaping community is very big on protection on your batteries, making sure that they're safe, making sure that they're the right chemistry. There's entire articles on electroniccigaretteforum.com. There are places that you can find resources to help you be safe. And as a community, we work together to make sure we have safe devices. So there's really no danger if we were allowed to vape on a plane. Have I done it before? Yes. It was against the rules, and I'm right now admitting I broke the rules. I vaped, and I did it stealthily because I needed my nicotine, and being on a plane with the screaming children, and the perfume, and the rude people, and the people that were too large to sit in the seats, that sat there anyway, and, you know, the close proximity, and the 4-hour layover, yeah, I vaped a little bit, and I calmed down quite a bit. And you're welcome, everybody, because I didn't freak out on a plane. Again, if I'm asked not to, I really try to do my best. No one saw it, and I could see the reason I wouldn't suggest vaping on a plane is because if somebody saw what they thought was smoke, it could cause panic and alarm. If it was already known that it was okay to do it, if everybody knew what it was, there's proven to be nothing in secondhand vapes that can hurt anyone. So you're not risking anybody's lives there. Again, you're deodorizing. It goes away quickly. I can understand if they don't want us to do it on planes. It's a small area. Sure, I'll give you that one. And we're a reasonable community. That's the whole thing. Number 10, e-joints and e-crack pipes are the new e-cig. What? Did this article... This is the first time I've read this one. Did this article really say e-crack pipes? I don't... Okay, here's the thing. Give somebody an apple and they can turn that into a pipe. Do you know that? There was a hotel in my hometown, and they used to, it was a closed down hotel, abandoned, and they stole all the tube lighting. I couldn't figure out why. Oh, because you can steal lighting and turn it into a crack pipe as well. Ban all light bulbs. If you're going to ban e-cigarettes, which are saving people, why don't you ban light bulbs? Because all they're doing is keeping us out of the dark, right? I mean, you can smoke crack out of that. This is ridiculous. And yeah, people are going to find more efficient drug delivery systems. It's what people on drugs do. All they think about is drugs, and how to get more drugs, and how to take drugs, and how to maybe save a little bit of money on drugs, and more drugs. Okay, but the average e-cigarette vapor, we're not smokers. The average user of a personal vaporizer is not putting drugs in there. I mean, we're putting nicotine in there because we need nicotine, because we got addicted to it, because it's legal. I can go to the store right now and just buy a pack of cigarettes. Why shouldn't I just be able to buy my e-cigarettes and not be accused of being, like, really, e-crack pipes? they're making stuff up. Okay, and I'm going to try to be more calm because I understand you can put drugs in it. You can do just about anything with anything, and stupid people are still going to do stupid things. Please help us make reasonable laws. Yeah, you have to be legal smoking age to purchase a e-cigarette or vaporizer. Sure, great. You shouldn't advertise them where children are present. They shouldn't be in school zones. I mean, common sense things. But common sense also says that if there's a way to save people's lives, if there's a way to perhaps better people's lives, elongate people's lives, if there's a way to make that kid that goes to school every day smelling like smoke not smell like smoke anymore because their parents aren't doing that in the house, we should be encouraging that. Okay? I was a kid with secondhand smoke. I went to the hospital. I was probably gonna die if I didn't go to the hospital. They put me in one of those air tents and stuff. It's bad. And I became an adult smoker, and it's even worse. But now there's finally something that can help with that and get me away from that. Please be reasonable, be considerate, and do a little bit of your own research. No, I'm not an expert. Do a little of your own research and have a conversation about this, because it's not the big bad demon we're making it out to be. Have a vapey day.